Hey everyone, welcome to Newsdrops. You know, where we take the news of the day and add a little dash of humor, a sprinkle of sarcasm, and maybe, just maybe, a whole lot of you can't make this stuff up. Let's be honest, the news cycle these days can feel like a roller coaster ride through a hall of mirrors. It's enough to make anyone want to unplug, crawl under a weighted blanket, and just stay there. But fear not, my friends, because that's where we come in. We're here to provide a little bit of comic relief, a little bit of perspective, and maybe, just maybe, make you spit out your coffee in laughter. Just make sure your laptop is out of the splash zone. So buckle up, grab your favorite beverage, and get ready for News Drops, where we dissect the headlines with a sarcastic smile. Let's dive into today, January 28th, 2025. All right, first up, we've got a federal judge temporarily blocking Trump's birthright citizenship order. You know, because what's more American than a good old-fashioned legal showdown? It seems like every time you turn around, someone's suing someone else in this country. And hey, who needs Congress to pass laws when you've got judges making decisions left and right? But seriously, folks, this whole situation just makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, shouldn't the people we elect, you know, the ones we actually voted for, be the ones calling the shots? Just a thought. But hey, at least it keeps the lawyers employed, right? And you know, it really makes you think, is the goal here to actually govern effectively? Or is it just to create as much gridlock and chaos as possible? Because let's be real, when every single policy decision gets bogged down in legal battles, nothing really gets done. The problems don't magically disappear, folks. The swamp, as they call it, just gets deeper and murkier. And the divisions between us, well, they just keep growing wider. And who does that benefit in the end? Certainly not the American people. We deserve better than this constant back and forth, this endless cycle of lawsuits and appeals. Don't you think? In other news, Trump's education department has decided to dismantle DEI measures and suspend some staff. You know, division, enmity, and illusion, where it's more important to care about color and culture moreover than math, science, and the ability to read. And you know what's really tragic? I hear they confiscated all the safe space supplies before escorting those ousted employees out. No time for a final group hug with the therapy dogs, folks. Welcome back to Newsdrops, where we try to find the good news buried under a mountain of, well, you know, today we're celebrating Senator Mazie Hirono, the lone voice of reason, the champion of, well, something. Apparently Senator Hirono wasn't too keen on someone named Collins. Maybe Collins brought coconut cake to a potluck. Maybe Collins used the last of the good coffee in the break room. We may never know the depths of this transgression against humanity. But fear not. Our stalwart senator stood firm, casting the lone dissenting vote, a profile in courage, a shining beacon of, wait, what exactly is she standing for again? Who cares? It's the principle of the thing, right? Anyway, on to the next bit of news that'll leave you scratching your head. Now, we could talk about how this partisan streak thing seems to be a bit of a one-way street these days. We could ponder the meaning of unity and working together. But hey, who needs actual progress when we can have symbolic gestures, right? It's not like there are any real problems to solve anyway, so let's all raise a glass, or maybe just a juice box, gotta keep it PG here, to Senator Hirono, the queen of, well, something. We're sure whatever it is she's doing is super important, probably. Moving right along. Next up, we have international intrigue. It seems the Saudi Crown Prince, MBS, a man known for his, shall we say, direct approach, offered Trump a cool $600 billion. That's billion with a B, folks. And not just any billion, but investment billions. The kind that supposedly create jobs and boost the economy and all that jazz. Now, I'm no financial expert, but even I know that's a whole lot of dough. We're talking enough to buy, like, a whole fleet of solid gold yachts, or maybe a small country. The possibilities are endless. What's that you say, UK? You only offered a measly few hundred billion? Well, there's your problem right there. You know what they say. Gotta spend money to make money, or something like that. I'm still trying to figure out how to get my hands on one of those solid gold yachts. But hey, at least someone's raking it in, right? And isn't that what really matters these days? Stay tuned, folks, because the absurdity just keeps on coming. Hold on to your hard drives, folks. Because President Trump is diving headfirst into the wild world of cryptocurrency. That's right. The former reality TV star and master of branding has set his sights on digital moolah, creating what can only be described as a department of making money go brr, but digitally. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this presidential working group on digital asset markets is going to do, but it sounds important, doesn't it? Maybe they'll finally figure out how to explain Bitcoin to my Uncle Steve, who still thinks the internet is a fad. Or maybe they'll just make a bunch of memes about Doge and call it a day. Either way, it's sure to be entertaining. Because when it comes to Trump and technology, you know it's going to be a wild ride. Buckle up, buttercups, because we're just getting started. All right, folks, next up we're heading down south, and no, not for spring break. Seems the DHS might be calling in some backup, up to 10,000 troops, to help manage the situation at the border. You know, that border crisis that definitely doesn't exist according to some folks in Congress. I guess those internal memos didn't get the everything is fine memo. I mean, I'm no general, but it seems like maybe having that many troops requested is a teeny tiny indication that things aren't exactly peachy keen down there. But hey, what do I know? I just report the news. Maybe they're sending them down for a friendly game of volleyball with our new neighbors, you know, build some bridges, literally and figuratively. Meanwhile, Congress remains curiously silent on this whole border situation. Must be tough to keep up the nothing, to see, hear, act when the evidence is literally walking across the Rio Grande. Maybe they're just waiting for the official report, you know, the one that's been delayed more times than my flight to Florida during hurricane season. Or maybe, just maybe, they're hoping if they ignore it long enough, it'll just magically disappear. Spoiler alert, it won't. But hey, at least we can all rest easy knowing that if those Venezuelan sword fighters ever decide to take their talents to Washington, we've got 10,000 troops ready to defend the Capitol. Well, folks, it seems like America is back on top, at least according to one major bank CEO. That's right, this financial guru says that thanks to Trump's fiscal policies, the U.S. is once again the #1 place to invest. I guess all that talk about trade wars and tariffs was just a clever ruse to make the rest of the world think we were down for the count. And now, boom, we're back, baby, and ready to rake in those sweet, sweet investment dollars. Of course, not everyone is convinced. I reached out to Nancy Pelosi for her take on this economic resurgence, but it seems she's a little busy, you know, managing her very important, very private investment portfolio. I'm sure it's just a coincidence that she hasn't exactly been shouting from the rooftops about this supposed economic miracle, but hey, who needs actual evidence when you've got talking points, right? In all seriousness, though, it is good news if the U.S. is attracting investment and creating jobs. I just hope it's not all smoke and mirrors, and that this economic growth benefits everyone, not just those at the very top. Hold on to your tinfoil hats, folks, because things are about to get real interesting. President Trump has decided to declassify all the remaining records related to the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and MLK Jr. That's right, after decades of speculation, conspiracy theories, and that Oliver Stone movie, we might finally get some answers about what really went down all those years ago. Now, some folks are saying this is a long overdue victory for transparency and the public's right to know. Others, however, are a little more skeptical, suggesting that this might be a distraction tactic or a way to stir up old controversies. I guess only time will tell what these documents reveal and what impact, if any, they'll have on our understanding of the past. But one thing's for sure, this is one history lesson that's got everyone talking, and who knows, maybe these newly released files will finally put some of those conspiracy theories to rest. Or, you know, they could just add fuel to the fire. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see what secrets history has been hiding. All right, folks, buckle up because Spirit Airlines is taking a stand against questionable fashion choices. That's right, Spirit Airlines, the airline known for its budget-friendly fares and, shall we say, unique in-flight ambiance, is now also the fashion police. Apparently, they've decided that passengers with inappropriate clothing or tattoos will no longer be gracing their presence on their flights. Now, I'm no fashion expert, but I didn't realize Spirit Airlines was gunning for a Michelin star in haute couture. I mean, we're talking about the airline where you practically have to pay extra for legroom and oxygen, but hey, at least they're setting the sartorial bar high, right? Maybe they'll start offering in-flight fashion consultations next to the $12 bags of peanuts. Who knows, maybe this is all part of a bigger plan to rebrand Spirit Airlines as the classiest budget airline in the sky. Or maybe they're just trying to distract us from the fact that their seats are about as comfortable as a park bench. Now, I'm all for a little bit of decorum, but this whole thing begs the question, who gets to decide what's inappropriate when it comes to clothing and tattoos? Are we talking about offensive slogans? Or maybe just too much skin? I mean, have they seen some of the outfits people wear on vacation? It's like a fashion free-for-all out there. Are they going to start measuring skirt lengths at the gate? And what about tattoos? Are they going to have a panel of tattoo art critics on hand to assess the artistic merit of each passenger's ink? Look, I get it, airlines have rules, but this just seems a little excessive, even for Spirit. Maybe they should focus on getting their flights to arrive on time before they start policing our wardrobes. Hold on to your hats, everyone, because we've got some breaking news from the world of science. The Earth's magnetic North Pole has officially moved, and scientists have been scrambling to update their maps and compasses. That's right. The very force that guides our compasses and protects us from harmful solar radiation has decided to pack its bags and head, well, we're not exactly sure where it's going, but it's definitely on the move. Now, before you start panicking about magnetic mayhem and compasses going haywire, let's take a deep breath and break this down. The Earth's magnetic field is constantly shifting and changing. It's just that this latest move has been a bit more dramatic than usual. Scientists believe that the movement is caused by changes in the flow of molten iron in the Earth's core. It's like a giant game of magnetic hot potato down there, and right now the North Pole is it. Now, some people might be thinking, well, with all the electric vehicles on the road these days, surely their batteries are generating enough magnetic fields to counteract any natural shifts, right? And to that, I say, hold your horses, Tesla enthusiasts. While it's true that EVs do generate magnetic fields, they're pretty weak compared to the Earth's own magnetic field. It would take a whole lot more than a few Teslas to throw off the planet's magnetic mojo. But hey, maybe this whole magnetic pole shift is a good thing. Maybe it's a sign that the Earth is finally embracing change and shaking things up a bit. Or maybe it's just a reminder that even the most seemingly constant things in life are subject to change. Either way, I'm sure we'll all adapt and find our way, even if our compasses need a little help along the way. And there you have it, folks. Another day, another batch of headlines dissected and satirized for your viewing pleasure. Remember, just because the news can be a little crazy sometimes doesn't mean we can't find the humor in it all. So keep your chins up, your news sources skeptical, and your sense of humor firmly intact. That's it for now. Enjoy what you have, yeah. It's more than you think. If you liked our content, please give us a like and hit subscribe for more views through the Newsdrops scope. See you next time.